Hey, Shalom, Hakim. This is Abaya Allah here, the surrogate of Yahawashi / Paradigms. And we all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Yahawashi, by Shema Kahakadash, double unto the apostles. That was a great millstone talking truth from the world. Peace and salutations unto the shepherds that feed the sheep of Yahawah Yahawashi. Yahawah being the heavenly Father's ancient Hebrew name, which means he to be and the only begotten Son, who the word ignorantly called Jesus Christ. The real name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi, which means he to deliver. He's coming to deliver the elect. Starting with 144,000 prophets, which are all men, and the predestined 1/3, which consists of the helps, men, women, and even children, who are predestined to receive salvation for the coming destruction of modern day Babylon, which is a Babylon the Great, which is here in America, and also other parts of the world where the Lord's armory and cleanser will hit, all right, as a result of World War III. Armageddon, the valley of decision, where the Lord will plead with all nations and all flesh to judge them, okay, for his elect's sake, for the nation of Israel's sake, okay. So, to you Akim and Abwathim, and brothers and sisters, to USA Shalom, is a real quick video. Yeah, I've been seeing this billboard all over the place, or this ad, for this movie here, played by, this is Ethan Hawke. It's called Black Phone. And you look at the mask, I guess it's a horror film. It's a thriller. And I want to read the synopsis or the plot behind this. But what caught truly my interest was the face. All right, but before I get into that, I'm going to read the plot. All right, so it says, storyline. It says, Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who was abducted by a sadistic killer and trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of no use. When a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the killer's previous victims. All right, and it says, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. So in other words, this is going into child abduction, Salaki. Okay, and just looking at this guy, I'm like, he looked awfully familiar. Okay, and I'm gonna get that real quick. The images is to make the comparison of what went on about 2 years ago up until I think this year. Then they swept it under the rug. All right. Now this is the picture right here. Okay, real eerie, scary photo. All right. And of course, it's an Edomite. All right. And this caught my attention. I kept thinking of this guy. All right, look at the similarity. Come on now, they throwing it in your face, man. If you can see, if you have that eye salve, you should be able to see what I'm seeing here. Now this is, a pictorial proof. If you can see what I see. All right, so this guy is who? Jeffrey Epstein. He's known for what? Epstein Island, where they would have what? Young girls, which they like to show a lot, but they don't show you about all of the young boys that's also on that island. Okay? It's like, come on now. Always goes into how hundreds of thousands of kids go missing every year. All of that came out around the time of the so-called or the pandemic. All right? That information is coming out on these celebrities, all the A-listers on these islands. All right, come on, it's in your face, and this is a big business, and that's what these Edomites are into. Those of the upper echelon, and he's a so-called small hatter. All right, him and I think is his woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, so that just caught my attention, man. It's like they're showing you. All right, so let me get a few scriptures, man. Joel 3 and 3. It says, and they have cast lots for my people. It's talking about Israelites, of course, and other nations as well, the poor Edomites, etc. It says, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. And when you watch Goodbye Uncle Tom, that's one of the things that they did during slavery. All right. And it says, yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Which today is modern day Babylon, which is America. That's another name for them. It says all the coast of Palestine, because they're not innocent either. I know the elder brother Yaquar, or Yaquam, if I'm saying it properly, from GMS, the London camp. Fear the Most High, I think BAHASHAM, if I'm not mistaken, he went into a video on that, how they prey upon the young boys. You know, they look like, with their turbans, you think they all into their religion. Nah, man. That's a big thing out there as well. Turning these young boys out on the street. They strip for them and everything. They do them out. They do all of that. All right, so now you understand why it says all the coast of Palestine. They into that as well. Okay, and that's why that judgment is going down in the Middle East. The Valley of Jehoshaphat. They're part of it as well. Dubai. Things that go on there. All right. So it says, will ye render me a recompense? All right. And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Judgment. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, starting with us. And then everything we've pretty much built, in this country and across the world, for that matter. Because Israel is scattered in every nation under heaven. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. All right, that's the Latin, Indian tribes over here in the Western Hemisphere, for the conquistadors got here. And it's on my Judah, which is the Negroid tribes. Benjamin and Levi, West Indian Haitian, the American Negro. And it says, ye have sold unto the Grecians. You know who the Grecians are? That ye might remove them far from their border, which is what they did, which is part of the curses in Deuteronomy. All right? Which they haven't paid for yet. That was our judgment, but now we're at the end of it. Okay? Scriptures say that he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. All right, starting with his men. 144,000, the governing body. Okay, so let's see what else we got. You know this one. If you don't, this is Wisdom of Solomon 12. It goes into the old Canaanites. That's one of the reasons why the Lord said, kill everybody in the land when we were during Joshua and Caleb. All right, we're going to inherit the land of Canaan. And it's changed into what? Jerusalem, Israel, as you know it in the scriptures. It says, why? Because whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcrafts, because that goes into that, right? The Crowleyan doctrines, and also Alfred Kinsey. Read about that guy. All of the madness and alphabetism that's going on is because of him. More so. It says, and wicked sacrifices. As a lot of these kids are killed when you read that synopsis or that plot. It says, and also the merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh, and the feast of blood with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew. Their secret, how they like to say it, societies, right? Or the illuminated ones in that Hollywood industry circle that you hear about, that's out in the open now. It says, and the parents, even parents give up their children, that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help. Okay, and that's what that movie's going into. that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of God's children. It says Yahawah and Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi's children, you know, and that's what's going into. And let me see, it's Job 24:8. This might be the last one. I'm gonna go to the point. It's Job 24:6. It says, they reap everyone his corn in the field. All right, that's all the poor, starting with us. It says, and they gather the vintage of the wicked. All right, this FRN notes, which now they're going to turn into a CBDC, which ultimately is going to lead into the MOTB. Okay, it says they cause the naked to lodge without clothing, no protection, that they have no covering in the cold. That's how they get what? Have these rings, all right, to abduct these people, you know, even women, men also, all right? Yeah, even the wicked of our people who they set up to do those things. The majority within those rings, come to find out, are so-called Negro and Latino children and Native American children. And some of those white children are Israelites. These devils know that. Remember that they're witches and warlocks. You think they don't know that? Come on now. And over there as well, overseas. That's a big issue. You know, that's been being revealed through what? Prince, Harry, I believe, or one of them. That was coming out on them as well. Because the Lord is making Esau bare at his latter end. All right, and it says they are wet with the showers of the mountains. Create those philosophies, all right, and embrace the rock for want of a shelter. You know, these prostitution rings and things of that nature. Okay, they're hopeless. That they make themselves slaves unto these organizations where they were abducted. All right, some of them can't even get out. Sometimes they have to try to escape. They showed you that in the movie Taken, which is over there in what? I believe the Ukraine, or somewhere around that area. All right, and it says that came out as well this year. It says they pluck the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge of the poor. They cause him to go naked without clothing. All right, and they take away the sheaf from the hungry. Okay, it says that what is it? He can never have enough, roughly paraphrasing. I forget the scripture off the top. But it said he is never satisfied. Even after he destroyed everything, put you into captivity, taking everything, even your the idea of your inventions, all right? But it says he still is not satisfied with blood that the scriptures go into. Roughly paraphrasing, all right? It says which make oil within their walls, okay, and tread their wine presses and suffer thirst. Men groan from out of the city, and the soul of the wounded crieth out. Yet it says here, God layeth not folly to them. It says they are those that rebel against the light. All right, they have the dark light, illuminated ones on the left hand side. It says they know not the ways thereof, nor abide in the paths thereof. All right, the murderer rising with the light killeth the poor and needy, and then the night is as a thief. Where a lot of these things go down at night. All these economic climate that we're in, these things are happening in the daytime now. All right, because the Lord is issuing out that judgment now. All right, where it will be seen. So Esau is being made bare. He's getting sloppy. He's telling on himself, like the scriptures say, that the wicked shall cause his own tongue to fall upon himself. All right, they're just letting the cat out the bag, because ultimately it's the Lord that's doing everything, controls everything. Okay. It says the eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me in disguise of his face. Right? In the dark, they dig through houses which they had marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not the light. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. That's what the morning is to them. Because when the morning is light, they're revealed. That's what it's talking about. The revealing of their hidden practices. It says, if one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. Okay, that's his weakness when he's exposed. And right now, the Lord is doing that through whistleblowers, through, of course, the prophets. You know, the elders, the apostles, the elders of Greatmillstone, us brothers, those of his own. You know, is being affected by what's going on. You know, with the economy and the things going on in the heavens. You know, it's all out the bag. The cat is out the bag. All right. So I just want to get into that real quick. About that movie where they're making it pretty obvious that what has been going on for years and still is going on with this guy. And he's just the top dog as far as the industry goes. But this is a worldwide thing. Okay? So I don't know if they're humiliating the guy. I don't know. But it's pretty airy that they look very similar. All right, and going into the pretty much the same accusations that were put on this guy. This is the plot for this movie. All right, so if you have that salve, you understand of Yahawashi Yahawashi. So I hope this video is edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom. Yahawashi Yahawashi. Barakathum to the elect. Till next time, Shalom.